another exciting edition of Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And today we're going to talk about something that you and I have a completely different view about. And there's a couple of different reasons why we do, based on our setups. But it is duplicates. If you pick up a collection and it's got a lot of duplicates in it. How do you feel about it?
I don't want to. Not a big fan.
Why not?
Well, it depends on the duplicates. If we're talking,
Well, obviously.
If we're talking,
oh, darn it! I got two action number ones.
Yeah,
Oh, darn it!
I'm talking about quantity. So if there's
Two's a quantity.
Right. Smaller quantities, 2, 3, 4, 5, I can live with because I have 3 or 4 platforms I can list them off of. Mm-hmm. When you get into 10, 20, 50, 100, then you're paying money for things, even if it's $1 a piece, that are sitting for a long time to turn them over. That's my thought.
One of the things that a lot of people, well, this kind of ties into something else. I'm kind of changing midstream here. What are, in the collectibles trade, what are 2 words that are probably one of the scariest word combinations you can possibly have? Warehouse find.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Because, and I never really knew about that a lot until all of a sudden, gosh, we're going back 20 years ago. I used to go out to an auction that was about half an hour from here. And you would see, and that was back when Black Americana could be sold on eBay, et cetera, et cetera. And I went, and, they had a couple of things there. Black Americana, and I wasn't buying that sort of thing. That was back in the days when I didn't know at all what I was doing, so I was there for the box lots, trying to buy a big box lot of books for $3 and probably get $50 worth of stuff out of it and be happy, not understanding that I could go up and bid on the good stuff and
Right.
pay $20 and get $200 out of it because I was still learning and all that kind of thing. The Black Americana would come up and it would go for whatever, and then 2 auctions later, you'd see the same Black Americana. And 2 auctions after, you'd see the same Black Americana. And labels are a big thing. You see the same label. A lot of times you can go somewhere and you can buy a pile of labels. You can buy 25 of the same label for pairs or whatever it is. And you start seeing the same stuff around all the time. And you say, that was a warehouse find. And that gets real, real scary.
Remember that comic, The Heroes Inc.?
Heroes Inc., yep. That's another one of the famous warehouse finds.
Everyone's got 100 of those, I think. Every comic dealer's got at least 100, 300 of them.
Yep, that was a nice little warehouse find of things as well. And so you get into things like that, and there are a lot of dealers out there that try to have perceived scarcity. And you can go on a spot like eBay and you can use the quantity.
Yep.
And you can put quantity, 3, 4, 5, 10, 150 if you have 150 of them. Now, eBay does allow you to state in there greater than 10. So you don't have, if you have 150 of them, you don't have to say 150. You can say greater than 10, which does help a little bit on that over there. But I was at an auction, online auction the one time, and the guy had a book. And he had the book up in a lot. And then he said, oh, look, this got a ding corner. Oh, guess I'll just throw another one in. Case fresh. And he threw it in. And I said, you don't say that. Because now the value of that goes way down in my head.
Right.
Because you've got a case of those. Now, granted, it's one dealer with one case.
Yeah.
But if he has one case, he's a wholesaler. He buys things out in bulk.
Right.
Maybe he's got 50 cases of it sitting there. Who knows? Who even begins to know what he might have sitting around there?
Yeah.
So that's the scary part of dupes is, if you get something on there and there's 5 people that want them and you've got 50 of them,
right.
Good luck to you. The other reason why I think that you don't care for dupes a lot is because of the way you're set up with the way that you do things where you use box codes for everything.
Right.
It would not be worth your time to go back and find the box that this was originally in and add 2 more to it and change your quantity up to 3.
Exactly.
You just have it in 3 different boxes type deals.
It's quicker, more efficient for us. It's less time involved, and just relist the item, new box code, boom. Instead of taking the time to pay someone to sort it out, again, something that's going to move slowly. You're putting more time and money into it.
See, and I generally don't mind dupes with some exceptions. I did get one of the comic deals that you wholesaled out to me, and I don't remember the number now. I think it's Thor 307 or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
I think I have 37 copies of it. My estate will probably have 35 copies of that, unfortunately. And then you run into the question of what do you do with it. Currently, I just have them all listed. At some point, what I've got to do is I've got to figure out a way to market them out and make a lot of Thor comics or whatever and wholesale them out that way and just try to get some money back out of them, because I might sell one this year.
Yeah, I did that with it. Remember that Superman #1 issue was yellow cover from the 80s? Mm-hmm. I think I had a whole long 300 of them, and I should have relisted another, but I did sell a lot of 50. It took about a year, and I sold it for $1 something an issue. But at least I moved out. I paid less than that for the whole long, but I'm very unorganized when it comes to that stuff, to finding another 50 and relisting it.
Right. Yeah, and that's the one thing with the duplicates. See, I don't mind them too much because they are easy. You pick up 3-4 of something or other. And obviously, you pick up 150 of them or something like that. You're talking about a different story.
Other deal we're working on where there's 100 to 200,000 magazines, and there's 20,000 difference. You're talking about approximately 10 of each issue.
Right, and obviously some of the rarer ones, there's only one of them.
One, right. So
which
could
means
be 20
there's
to 50 of each issue.
of some of the other issues, yeah.
Of course, yeah.
So that gets a little bit difficult as well, because unless you've got 50 different places that you're listing at, and you could list one on each of the 50 places, you've got 38 of something or other sitting on there. So dupes are, the one hand, they're good because you can list quantity 10 and just list them one time and you've got 10 of them on there.
Right.
But on the other hand, you can certainly get overwhelmed with dupes.
Oh, sure.
As far as that goes. I guess, let me ask you this.
Okay.
And I'm putting you on a spot here because, again, you have no idea what I'm going to ask you. Let's just say that they were People magazines.
Okay.
That you have a chance to pick up a whole run of People magazines, 10 of some issues, et cetera, et cetera. If I came in with 100 issues of People magazine, just random, so they've got some good covers, some bad covers, they're all in decent shape, whatever. 100 different issues of it. What'd you give me? $75, $100, somewhere in that ballpark.
$100.
$100. Yep. I come in with 100 issues, but they're 10 of 10. What are you giving? $40, $50?
I was going to say half at the most. I would probably start at like 25, 30.
25, 30 and work your way up.
Yeah, because I want to look at it like, there's these 10 issues. What am I going to get out if I sell one of each? I want to be out of them, really. And then I don't have to worry or stress that they're never going to sell again. I could care less. But if I can get my money back and make a little bit, then the rest can rot.
So you'd give 75 to 100 on 100 different.
Right.
10 different that still adds up to 100, you'd be given 25 to 30 to 40 is what you'd be trying to give.
Sure.
I walk in with 100 copies of just a random issue with Mary Hartman on the cover.
$10. I got to sell one of them to get out of it.
Yeah, and then you've got 99 more sitting there.
When's number 2 going to sell? And that's the way I'm looking at it.
Yep. So I guess if you, on the big deal or any other deal, if you price that in with kind of that in your mindset, where obviously it's almost like, okay, 1 is here, 2 is here, and then it drops off when you get to 20 of something or 100 of something. Sure. And it reminds me of an auction that I went to, and I don't remember what the magazine was. It was just some common magazine. They had, I am going to say, a pallet of the same magazine. And it was nothing special.
Right.
And I could have bought the pallet for $5. I could have ended up with, I don't know, 1,000 magazines for $5.
More than that on a pallet.
Is it a pallet?
Oh,
2,000, 3,000? How many ever magazines? All of the same
boxes. I would say 3,000. Yeah.
For $5.
Wow.
I passed on it. One of the reasons why is I didn't have any room left in the vehicle, and certainly I didn't want to bring that much home of that one magazine.
Right.
But the other issue comes in. Good luck to me selling that. I'd probably sell one.
Well, would it make any difference if it was free? Can't make a difference.
I probably would have taken one box for free.
Okay, for free.
For free, I would have
taken
taken
let
one
you do that. But if you had to take it all for free, it doesn't make a difference whether you're paying 0, 5, 10, 20. You're not going to take it.
No.
And I wouldn't take it either, unless the warehouse was empty.
Yeah, and that's that is the problem with dupes on the one hand, if you get too many of one thing, because at this point, that was probably 8-10 years ago. At this point, I probably would have sold 2 of them, so I'd be out of it.
Yeah, you find a sucker like me to buy the rest.
I got a heck of a deal for you, Mr. Magazine. $10 for 1,998 magazines.
Yeah.
That's a penny a magazine. So do use, if you are set up like I am, where you can control your inventory better, and that's no disrespect to you. You've got an entire warehouse. You've got a lot of different people working for you. I'm a one-man band. So it's a little bit different in there, and I'm also working on my house in my basement.
Sure.
So if I pick up a dupe, I can list it. In fact, sometimes what I'll do is if it's a title that looks really, really familiar, or I pick up a lot of a given title, like Country Gentleman is a perfect example. I do have a fair number of Country Gentlemen. What I do is I go in my active listings and I search and I say, oh, I've got this issue already listed. Then I change my quantity to 2, and I put the one down, and as long as the condition is fairly the same, I'll put the second one down in a box, and then I've just got 2 of them to sell rather than relisting the one from scratch.
Yeah.
You're not set up to be able to do that at all. So dupes they're a crazy thing as far as things go. I guess everybody has to take a look at their own situation on whether you want to get them or not. But unless you're talking about absolute gold, I mean, obviously an action number 1 is a different story, or
something's got a high sell-through rate or something, definitely different.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Obviously, if you get into selling things like razor blades, it doesn't matter if you pick up dupes. In fact, dupes are a wonderful thing if you're selling razor blades.
Right. Yeah.
If you're selling new old stock like that, because people buy those all the time. I mean, there'd be nothing better than getting a pallet full of razor blades.
Right.
That would be absolutely wonderful. You just list them and get them through. We're dealing with older collectibles.
Yeah.
So dupes are a scary thing, but as long as you're not picking up 3,000 of the same magazine. Although I could have gotten one graded.
True. Yeah.
I could have gotten them all graded.
Yeah.
So hopefully that helps you some, and we'll see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.